Videology is really focused on collaborating with our clients and partners to drive greater fidelity in the sort of signal to noise factors out there and planning against different screens, so what we call advanced advertising. In order to do that, Videology has invested heavily into our data spine. What does that mean? That means there are certain currencies in the media marketplace, specifically for video, that all media is traded on, right? So Videology has understood early on that we've got to get down to the respondent level to build that data spine. So that's either households, where we can individuals, and even down to the device level. That data spine is then sort of amplified by our massive network. I mean, I think we see about 6 billion ad impressions on a daily basis. We amplify the signal that we're getting at the respondent level to the currencies so we can help our clients better forecast and plan media against the currencies, right? So that's number one, the currencies out there, making sure our clients have access to the highest fidelity signal that they can get access to. The second part of that is we need to understand our client's business. Who are their customers? What data sets do they value, right? So marrying to that base foundation of the currency, we've got to add other data sets because auto manufacturers, consumer product companies, they each have different behavioral targets and data companies that they gravitate towards. So we need to activate the revenue based on a very solid foundation. So that, to Videology, is an incredible sort of level of effort that we understand is the key to everything, including driving outcomes, right? So without that data spine against the currencies of the marketplace, against what their clients want to lean into, only then could we actually measure how is that attributable to traditional television, right? Because if we leave that up to the digital giants, the barbarians at the gate, they will define things in terms of search and last click, et cetera, things that don't behoove the traditional media companies. So we are partnering very heavily and strategically with our clients to help define that so they don't suffer the same fate that the digital marketplace did years ago.
So what are some of the issues you face educating the sell side on the necessity to embrace these things?
I think that early on, the protectionism of large media companies around their inventory and their data and the sort of reticence to cooperate with both the brethren of the service provider space, the broadcaster space, but as well as reaching across the aisle to the buy side and creating platforms where they can agree upon it and share the right data sets, the right outcomes, attribution methods to value their media appropriately. I think that's been one of the greatest hurdles and one of the greatest threats going forward. I think I'm seeing a lot of momentum between a number of different coalitions to come to the table and to value the media appropriately to combat what happened, with digital. So that's the trend I'm seeing. I hope it continues to accelerate, as I've said before.
Is there a time frame in this? Do the traditional TV players have a certain amount of time before the barbarians are,
I think the time is now, right? I mean, you look at YouTube Live, you look at the Facebook video impressions growing exponentially. Amazon is out there in full force. So what we can't do is wait for the perfect system to meld itself together across the different silos, linear, VOD, addressable, or everything going to IP. We have to deal with this sort of fragmented environment. So again, I go way back to what I said earlier about the foundational elements of the data currencies. You don't need the perfect systems in place to plan across screens in advanced television. There is plenty of foundational data to leverage to make highly accurate plans that are deduplicated and incremental to just linear, let's say, right?
So do you think OpenAP is a good step in the right direction?
I think it's a great step. I mean, that is one of the things I'm quoted as supporting heavily, right? And we support them both from a client standpoint as well as from a market messaging standpoint. So We know that there's a number of great initiatives underway, some that are more public like OpenAP and others that have yet to be disclosed.
So how about the traditional linear TV space? Are they catching on, and how much time do they have to?
Yeah, absolutely. So we are working with a number of traditional linear providers, right? And these same clients are leveraging both us and as well as building their own custom solutions as well. So I believe that they're moving quickly now. Yet, as I said earlier, if everyone waits and develops their own walled, siloed solution, I think the threats increase as time goes on, right? I think we need more open APs and more compromise and aggregation of efforts.
But we haven't seen any new new networks join the OpenAP since it came out. So you still have a wait and see, and then I'm doing it, on my own.
There is still some
NBCU, ABC, big dogs, obviously.
Right, but it's a good spark, right? It was a good spark, and there's active discussions going on in the marketplace. So and it's only been public for less than 12 months. So I think more people will come to the table with OpenAP and with other alternative coalitions, if you will.